Up next, I am really excited to hear what this guy has to say. Please give it up for Patrick, who's going to be talking about Web3 go-to-market, when and how to flip the funnel.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm actually going to sit down because it's been a long day. It's a small group. I feel a bit closer to you if I sit down and present. I hope that's okay. So I want to spend the next 10 minutes or so talking about Web3 go-to-market strategy. And I'd like to start off with a short story where I was sort of on the receiving end of a Web3 go-to-market strategy, and then put that into context about how we're talking about Web3 go-to-market with a number of brands and how things are changing versus how they went to market in Web2. So story is essentially about an NFT project. I assume everyone here is been in one or is in one, is maybe more or less active. And the story is about a project called Floor NFT. It's essentially a mobile app, nothing more. It allows me to monitor my NFT portfolio. That's it. It's a pretty app. It works great. It's in beta, all good. But essentially, it's a mobile app. And traditionally, a mobile app business would look something like this, right? You have the company that's building the app, you have shareholders, maybe some of the employees are shareholders in an early phase of the company, and you have the users. And there's value and monetization being exchanged between all of them. So that's what it would look like traditionally. Now, Floor NFTs actually went to market through NFTs, right? It's still a mobile app business. I mean, the target group is NFT holders or NFT users, but it's still traditional mobile app business. And they decided to go to market through multiple NFT collections. And that's actually how I also stumbled upon this app, this business. So I purchased one of the NFTs, gave me access to the beta, gave me access to their Discord, gave me access to allow lists, to utility, all of the typical stuff we know and love with NFTs. And initially, I had bought in because of the financial upside, right? I wanted to be a shareholder in the company, so to say, or wanted to profit from the upside that I thought Floor NFTs was going to have. Using the beta was sort of an added benefit. Now, what actually happened is I started using this mobile app. I still use it today. It's pretty cool. On top of that, I started giving product feedback, right? I started co-developing the application. I started giving feedback on features I think are missing, features I think are working well, features I think are not working so well. Yeah, so I really gave input as a consumer because I was interested in the success of the company. And on top of that, I started talking to people about the app, right? I'm here on stage talking to you guys, so essentially fulfilling a marketing job for Floor NFTs. And on top of that, I'm now able to airdrop additional NFTs to other users, to friends of mine, to onboard them into the app. So traditionally, all of these steps that I'm now taking as someone who holds an NFT in this project, traditionally, all of these would have looked something like this. So a traditional marketing funnel, traditional go-to-market strategy. I need to spend a bunch of marketing dollars to get consumers to be aware of my app, right? That was done through the NFT launch. I need to spend a bunch on sales to broaden my target group or to actually convert the customers that I marketed to. That's also a job that I'm doing now, right? I'm selling this to other consumers because I believe in the product, but because I also profit from the upside. And I need to spend even more to then convert those users and to make them loyal to my brand. And I essentially started down at the bottom, right? Just by buying this NFT, I went straight into the retention and into the loyalty phase. I'm selling this, I'm co-developing the product, I'm actively pushing business for this company, even though I just purchased their NFT. So we've skipped the whole funnel, the whole traditional go-to-market approach of a software business. We've skipped right to the end, and the community, the users, the NFT holders, are actually taking over the job of all of these steps in the traditional funnel. Now, that kind of fundamentally changes the way we go to market, right? Changes the way we go to market for all of the aspects of our go-to-market strategy or for just a few, but it changes them. It changes them fundamentally. And there's essentially three things we're mainly talking about with brands right now. And I work in a company, in a consulting company, 35 years old, specialized on marketing, sales, pricing. So we've done a lot of work on traditional go-to-market strategies, right? That's kind of what we focused on for the last 35 years, and personally myself for the last 10. And we're now moving into, for the last few years, moving into adapting these approaches to what Web3 means for our customers and means for the brands that we work with. And there's three main points we typically talk about. So one is holistic thinking, one is value co-creation, and one is community design or community curation. So what do I mean when I say holistic thinking? So typically what we're seeing right now in the Web3 space is that a lot of brands are very focused on certain use cases or certain portions of go-to-market strategy and of the sales funnel. Yeah, there's a lot of work being done on branding, there's a lot of work being done on marketing, and that's all great. That's all really, really good. But what we're missing as a company that looks at complete go-to-market strategies is a more holistic view of things. So what do these launches mean for my sales approach? What do these launches mean for my monetization strategy? How do I connect these NFTs? How do I connect these new Web3 mechanics to my subscription models and to the way that I actually want to earn money in the future? So even though we like focus, I mean, we're very focused as a company ourselves, we think that at least initially, we need to think carefully as brands about what we want to achieve in Web3, how we go to market, and then sort of focus on specific elements of go-to-market strategy and think about how Web3 can convert those and how the dynamic of go-to-market changes. Second one is value co-creation. So I spoke quite a bit about how Floor NFTs, I suddenly started giving product feedback on a product that I just purchased an NFT for. That's not something I've really done for other software that I use, maybe in a few cases, but not really so often. So I'm suddenly co-creating this product because Floor NFTs allowed me to. So if brands go in and launch NFTs and move into the Web3 space and build communities, then they also need to think about how they enable those communities, right? How they actually allow them to take influence on the product, take influence on the products that are being created, on the roadmap, and allow them to actually have a part, have a say beyond just the pure ownership of the token, right? So ownership is more than just financial ownership. It's also ownership in the product and ownership in the roadmap. And all of those things are critical for success in Web3. So that's value co-creation. And the last one is community design. I mean, a lot of what we talked about relies on the fact that I have the right people in my community. Yeah? And at the moment, NFTs are being launched. There's a lot of different launch tactics out there. There's airdrops, there's Dutch auctions, there's allow lists, there's community partnerships, and so on and so forth. And all of those may be great, but we really need to think about which of those launch tactics fits to the type of community I'm trying to create. To some extent, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because if I position certain values, if I position a certain purpose among those buying my NFT or buying into my project, then to some extent I will get the right people on board. But we need to think about the way that we launch those NFTs, launch those tokens, also has something, has a large influence on what the community will look like later. So these are the three things we're talking about a lot at the moment when we talk about Web3 go-to-market and when we're helping brands to kind of enter the space and to think about how they want to enter the space. And we think all three of them are super critical to successfully enter Web3. Good. So I was a bit ahead of time. I think that's good because we need to catch up. 40 seconds to go. So I had a blast. Thanks for being here. Hopefully we'll see you later at a few beers. Would be happy for you to connect either in person or over LinkedIn. Yeah, thanks a lot.